Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. I've been wanting to incorporate TV into my channel. I just haven't really had an opportunity to do that until now. Was it a week? 2 weeks ago was the season finale of the Vampire Diaries. If you don't know this about me, the Vampire Diaries is one of my all-time favorite TV shows of life. I'm too invested in those fictional characters for my own good. But guess what? I don't even care. Damon is like my fictional boyfriend. Dalena for life. Today we're going to be discussing and reviewing the 6th season of Vampire Diaries with a focus on the season finale because that is the freshest in my mind because I literally just finished watching it. Oh my god, it was just as sad as I knew it was going to be. Vampire Diaries does not do season finales without being just completely heart-wrenching. Nina Dobrev, who plays Elena, released on Instagram that she would be leaving the show. This would be her final season, and I was like, what? How can our main character leave the TV show? Like, what? For these last several episodes, we all knew as fans that we were building up to the exit of Elena. I wish she wouldn't have released that. Had I not known, I think it would have hit me more. It was obvious that they were preparing for her to exit, and it made me as a viewer kind of irritated. I didn't really take anything that happened to Elena seriously because I knew she wasn't going to come back. So obviously she has to die somehow. You leave the possibility open for her to come back. The fans are going to expect her to come back. The 2 times that Jeremy left. They didn't kill him. They just sent him to art school in Denver and then off as a hunter. So obviously he wasn't actually leaving the show permanently. He was just taking a break from the show. Unlike people like Jenna and Vicky, Lexi, dead, gone, unless you happen to be a Alaric, and in that case none of those roles apply to you. But I am so glad that he came back. Poor Elena and Jeremy needed some sort of guardian figure in their life. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just ranting. Michael Trevino, who plays Tyler, and Stephen R. Queen, who plays Jeremy, who are taking temporary hiatuses from the show. The minute that Bonnie comes back from the prison world with the cure for vampirism and gives it to Damon, we're all like, that's it. That's how Elena's leaving. But obviously they're going to give her this cure for vampirism, which they do. And I was like, stupid. He's the only one on the show who doesn't want to be a vampire, but is a vampire. You're Elena Gilbert. You're a doppelganger. The entire world's out for you. Why on earth would you ever want to become an incredibly vulnerable human? So maybe you should like fake your death as a vampire or something, because if you just take that cure, people are gonna come after you, which they do. Literally within seconds of her taking the cure, Lily was on her. So yeah, this is a mistake. Dumb Elena. And my thought, before she even takes it, before Damon even gave it to her, my theory was that they were going to give her the cure for vampirism. She was going to take it. They were going to then compel her to forget all of them and send her off, very similar to what they did to Jeremy when they sent him off to Denver. Then as I'm watching the season more, I start to realize that they can't just send Elena somewhere. They have to kill her. Otherwise it leaves that possibility that she can come back. So they had to kill her in some way where she wouldn't be able to come back. I'm like, oh my god, she's going to die. That is going to be so traumatic. The viewer who has invested 6 years of their life in this character's life, the human, and then turned to a vampire, and then turned into an incredibly horrendous person that I can't even stand. Elena, when she first turned to a vampire, was literally the most horrendous person on the planet, and I actually hated her. Elena in season, what season was it that she was a complete and utter disaster? 4? I believe Catherine was around in that same season, and I actually liked Catherine more. Where was I going with this? Episode 21, the wedding. Oh crap, Elena died by a chandelier. Obviously. I mean, it would be a random, just like, common household object that kills her. At the end of episode 21, Kai appears out of nowhere at Joe and Alaric's wedding, starts killing people left and right. Wait a second, how did he get out of the prison world? Obviously, he had some like witchy, voodoo, spelly something with all the heretic vampire witch people who are gonna raise all freaking hell in Mystic Falls. But how did they get out? They don't really clearly state that, unless I missed it. They were all of a sudden at the wedding. Whoa, wait a second. And then they stabbed Joe. Whoa. I really liked Joe. Can we talk about Alaric for a second? Poor Alaric. Okay, so his first wife, Isabel, Elena's mom, fakes her own death, leaves him to go find a vampire, who then turns her into a vampire. She wants to be a vampire, and then she gets burned to death. Then we have Jenna. I really like Delark and Jenna. Jenna gets turned into a vampire against her will, kidnapped by Klaus, again against her will, and sacrificed in a ritualistic ceremony to evoke Klaus's werewolf side so that he could become a hybrid. And then she's dead. So that was pretty traumatizing again for Alaric. That poor guy, he just can't keep a woman around. Everyone that he loves dies. And then his bride on their wedding altar gets stabbed by her crazy, insane twin brother who happens to be half her age because he's been stuck in a prison world like decades but doesn't age apparently in a prison world. Stabs her and their unborn children, and then she bleeds out in his arms. Holy crap, should we talk about a traumatizing experience? That actually, I think, hit me more than Elena dying because I didn't see that coming. Let's talk about Kai. He is a fantastic villain. I enjoy him so much as a villain. He's so funny and sarcastic and witty. Plus, he's just downright mean and evil and sadistic. He murdered his siblings. All of his relatives are at this wedding because it's his sister Joe's wedding, so obviously all the Gemini Coven is there. He says to his dad, they're trying to send him back to a prison world. Doesn't succeed because he's been to 2 of them now and apparently has this uncanny ability to get out of prison worlds. Says to his dad, well, you can't kill me because if you kill me, all of you guys die. Who would Kai rule over if you all die? But then Kai kills himself. What? You just said that you can't be killed because then the whole coven dies. Stefan is, creeping on his mom. Lily wants this creepy, witchy vampire family back. Stefan says, what did you trade, Kai, to get your family out of the prison world? And she says, oh, I gave him my blood. Rules of nature don't apply to Kai. If you are a witch who is turned into a vampire, you are no longer a witch. Vampire goes against the laws of nature, and a witch's purpose is to keep nature in balance. Apparently, rules don't apply to Kai or all of these heretics. They are magic siphoners. They steal other beings' magic. I say beings because apparently you can steal vampire and werewolf magic. Didn't see that one coming. He becomes a vampire. He just uses his vampire self to continually siphon a continuous flow of magic. Because he did die, the curse that he placed on Elena is permanent. But before he died, he left this magical little present for Bonnie to find. In the video, he says, I put this curse on Elena, and I linked your life forces. Elena is now in this perpetual state of slumber and will not be able to wake up until Bonnie is dead. So you can either kill Bonnie and save Elena. If anybody killed Bonnie to save Elena, Elena would never forgive them. Oh my gosh, the memories, the vision things, I don't know what they were, where Elena was saying goodbye to all of her family and friends. Tears just pooling in my little eyeballs. Oh my god, the scene with her and her friends, Bonnie and Caroline, sitting in the room together, saying goodbye to each other. Couldn't contain myself. And then Bonnie, she was almost dead and Damon saved her over saving Helena because he knows that Elena will never forgive him if he lets Bonnie die. That's her best friend. So he saves Bonnie. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands anymore. The feels. Oh my gosh. The part where Damon comes in and whacks off Kai's head. Oh, that was just fantastic. I'm sad that Kai's gone because I really liked him as a villain. I loved when he merged with Luke. I was sad that Luke was dead, but I loved that Luke's pure good soul was now merged with Kai's just complete and utter lack of human life. Kai would always be like, I'm feeling these strange emotions. I just want to hug you. I feel compassion, but I'm confused. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Liv. I can't believe that Tyler killed her. She was dying already, so I guess he just kind of helped her die quicker. I was shocked that he re-invoked his werewolf curse, but he's leaving the show, so we don't even get to delve into him being a werewolf again. That was so sad because he loved Liv and he suffocated her, and oh my god, that was so sad. More feels, more tears. When Elena and Damon were dancing in the street and you could just see the love in their eyes and how Damon just didn't want to go on without her, and Elena's like, no, I want you to live your life and be happy, be you, don't wait for me. And it was all intertwined, that whole montage with Stefan confessing his feelings for Caroline. I have been waiting for Stefan and Caroline to get together for so many seasons. Has to be since at least season 4 when Elena was turned. Okay, it's probably actually been since Caroline was turned into a vampire. Stefan helped her through her transition or had to be a vampire without being a cold-blooded murderer. He was still with Elena at the time, but I was always Team Damon, so I wanted Elena to be with Damon anyway, so that's irrelevant. It's been quite a few years that I've been waiting Stefan and Caroline to be together. They finally get together when Caroline's mom dies. so excited they were finally together, but then I knew that because Caroline wasn't with her mom when her mom was dying, that was going to cause a whole big issue, and it did. Although I think that Caroline, without her humanity, was not nearly as bad as Elena without her humanity. Elena without her humanity was just a cold-hearted bitch. Caroline without her humanity was still at least funny. So they finally get together, but it wasn't satisfying. None of their humanities were turned on. They didn't have any emotions for each other. They were like having meaningless sex over nothing. No. When they both turned their humanities back on, they still weren't getting together. Caroline was now, I just can't handle it. I need to focus on myself. Bitch, please. Let him help you. He's confessing his love for her at the end of the episode, and in tears, again, they were pulling in my eyeballs. It looked like Caroline was going to say something back, and she was going to stop him from leaving, and she doesn't, and he leaves, and I was like, oh, you're just never going to give me the satisfaction of letting them be together, are you? Apparently, it's just more fun to torture us instead of just giving us what we want. Oh my gosh, Jeremy comes back in this episode. Jeremy comes back to say goodbye to Elena. He says, I want you to just know that I'm happy, and I'm like, you lying little son of a gun. You're out hunting vampires. You left on a bus with a bunch of vampire weapons, and then they never really tell us what's going on. Like, what are you doing? Who are you hunting? What are you looking for? You're lying to your sister. She's basically turning into Snow White. She's gonna be living in a coffin for the next 60 years. She would not approve. Jeremy, she would not approve. I want him to be with Bonnie again. But I feel like Bonnie and Damon will get together in this next season. That'd be weird. At the very, very end of the episode, it wouldn't be Vampire Diaries if it didn't end on some very vague, unexplained cliffhanger. Matt's a police officer now. He's in his little police truck driving through Mystic Falls, which is completely vandalized. This is, I'm assuming, sometime after Elena gets put to sleep. And they show like a sped up time warp of like flowers dying and the sun rising and setting, so we know sometime's passed. And then there's Damon at the top of the clock tower, just like, you're really watching the town. What is that all about? Is he looking for Damon? Is Damon helping Matt look for somebody? Is this all the work of the heretics? We find out that Lily reunites with them. So where are they going in this next season? I want to know what happened to Mystic Falls, how much time has passed since Elena died. This is my thing. They say that Nina Dobrev is not coming back to the show. However, they didn't kill her, which leads me to believe that she will come back at some point. Probably at the series finale. It will be 60 years in the future. Bonnie will be dead. That will be really sad, unless they turn Bonnie into a vampire. So she has to come back. Because if they wanted her to never come back, they would have killed her. Ooh, I wonder what they're going to do with Sarah Salvatore, because they didn't really touch on her at all in this last section. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next season to start. It's gonna feel so like empty kind of, and kind of naked without Elena, because she was the main character. I think that they did not purposely kill Elena for a reason, and I wonder if they left that open like that in case Nina ever decides that she wants to come back to the show. I would let her come back. I mean, I wouldn't protest that as a fan. Tell me your thoughts on this past season down below. What were your thoughts? Did you like Kai? I liked Kai. He's dead though now, so I mean, he's like really dead, like doesn't have a head dead, so I don't think he's coming back. Although in the show, you really never know. Oh my god, wasn't it crazy that Kai could pull the magic of the wolfsbane out of his werewolf bite? What was that? Tell me down below what you thought of this season finale. My mind was just, what? Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.